welcome to Ledesia. My name is Seri, and this is going to be the very first official Let's Play video that I'm going to be running. I'm really excited to share this little community with you. As you can tell, there is not a lot to it yet, but the special thing about Ledesia is that this is an exclusive science community. I have a lot of just fun ideas that I want to see come to life here. This is going to be a storytelling driven Let's Play. It's going to focus on all the fun little stories that the Sims come up with, but it is not going to be like really meticulously thought out. I love randomness, and I love just the opportunities that develop as part of playing this game. So to begin, I thought I would just introduce myself. As I said, I go by Seri in the online communities, and I love simming, gardening, lots of animals, and I love storytelling and sharing my stories with everyone. Ledesia is a community that I've had in my mind for a long time, several years actually, probably 6, and I'm very pleased that I finally have the time and the talent to put it together. And I really hope that as part of the Let's Play I'll be able to share it with all of you and we can have a great time. And alright, I'll give you a quick tour. This is going to be our main area. It's located in the northern mountains of the little sim world I have. I will also be playing a few subhoods. Ledesia is an exclusive science community, so not just anyone could live here. It's going to be mostly knowledge sims and geniuses and people who can do those really crazy things like come up with science experiments. It's actually a bit more of a tropical area. Its seasons are long spring or long fall. That's going to change every other year. There's no winter, and that's actually because this is like a really heavily plant-based society, and you'll see why pretty soon. Quick tour. Down here are some ancient ruins. No one's really looked at these yet, but rumor has it that every now and then you'll see some weird lights over here, which I actually didn't know happened until I put the hedges down and things started happening. This is kind of the tropical zone. It's still being worked on a little bit. It has rainbows, double rainbow, nice and pretty. Hi rainbows! Over here is going to be where a whole bunch of purple flowers spread out. I might mix in some other colors, but it always just looks so nice to have fields of flowers. Down here is going to be where the archaeologist dig site is, and this will be quite fun. Whatever the archaeologists dig up, it's going to go into a museum. Some of the common pieces might be sold to other museums, so that's for whatever archaeologist sim happens to come this way. Over here is the residence of Natalie Greenheart. Natalie is actually a sim that Celeste made for me quite a while ago, several months, I think 2 or 3 months ago, when I was requesting a sim that looked like she was fairly plain, but looked like she might spend a lot of time in fair trade cafes. Natalie is going to be providing the organic vegetables for the area of Ledesia. She has to prove herself first though. As you can tell, I haven't built anything on that lot yet. You guys are really seeing Ledesia from its inception, which is why everything's so empty. But don't worry, this is going to be the central square, open courtyard kind of area where everyone can go and just chat and mingle and mix. This is going to be a very interestingly built community because this is a community meant for scientific geniuses to encourage creativity, to encourage them to work together. So there's going to be lots of little places where people can go and meet. Erica Eureka, who is the founder of this town, and she's also the founder of my favorite legacy, the Eureka Legacy, which has lasted for 5.5 years now. I know, I really need to move on. Well, Ledesia is Erica Eureka, who actually lives up here on the top of the hill. It's Erica's masterpiece, her culmination of all her hard work, her dreams, her effort. And there's Erica right there. You can tell she is actually a plant sim, which is one of the reasons she chose this area, so it's nicer for her. And in accompaniment with her is her husband, Evander. I love that name. It actually was generated by my game. Her eldest daughter, Rosalind. Her daughter's husband, Bredeth. Their twins, their teenage twins, Kenneth and Lena. And their youngest daughter, Elisa. Over here is also another branch of the Eureka family. Rosalind is actually from a set of triplets. Newton is one of those triplets. I believe he's the youngest. He married Valerie, and they have 3 sons. Their teenager, Leon, and then the twins, Alex and Galen. And we'll learn a little bit more about them as we go on. And if you're wondering where the 3rd triplet is, Evelyn is currently living in what passes for Japan in my sim world. I don't know if I'm going to be rebuilding that subhood and playing it. This is all freshly done and rebuilt because I worked my game several times and I'm determined to see this one through. But yes, Ledesia is going to be very uniquely built. It's not going to look like most communities. Erica Eureka is actually considering forcing the people who live here to sign up for at least one club so that they get out of the house, because there's nothing so common as those geniuses who are just recluses and won't ever leave. But if you don't mingle and mix, you can't get creative ideas. It's true, I read it in the book. And there's a whole bunch of radio towers just scattered everywhere. And satellites. Sorry. Let's see. And I love the trees. Trees, look at all of them. It's like a waterfall of trees just pouring down everywhere. It's beautiful. And then, sorry about the site lagging. Haha, there we go. Grrr, lag. Normally it's not lagging this badly, but it is an awful lot of trees. Birdies! Hi, birdies. Pretty pink birdies. I didn't know they came in pink till today. I've only ever seen like the blue ones flying around. And then there's also the observatory. I do plan on building an interactive planetarium that I'm going to have down here too. I'm very excited about that. There's going to be museums, libraries, planetariums, robot competitions. I mean, this is going to be really fun. I plan on really tripping this out. Oh, honestly, lag, you don't need to be that bad. Sorry guys, you can do all the preparations in the world and your game just decides to be silly for no reason just when you finally get things going. But yeah, down here, a couple of the lots I already have established, other than Ledesia Square. Well, I say established. I put them down. I haven't built anything yet. You guys are seeing this from the very beginning almost. The Ledesia Learning Lounge, that's actually going to be the community school. I'm not sure if I have the gumption to run it like a real flexological school just yet, but I probably will. And anyway, this will be where all of the children in the community go. It's not going to be built like your normal schools. It's going to be very interactive, very hands-on, kind of born from the latest cutting knowledge about how children learn, which is very hands-on, able to reinforce their creativity. If any of you out there know what the Montessori school techniques are, where you have open access to large environment views, like big courtyards with plenty of plants and trees, tons of hands-on art projects, science projects, lots of positive reinforcement and showing of the students' skills. It's kind of going to be run like that. I love the Montessori version. I just think that's really cool. You guys should look into it if you have any kidlets. The Open Oceans Research Center is going to be the Oceanography Research Center. Valerie is going to spend a lot of her time there, and we'll talk about each of the individual sims as time goes on. And down here is where I'm going to put some shops, and I'm going to put some apartments. Come on, game. Pick it up. You were running just fine earlier. It must be camera shy. Come on. Dragging your little butt, honestly. Then down here we have the reuse or repurpose and recycle center. You can see where there's already like large mounds of compost. Down here, Ledesia, being on the cutting edge of all sorts of technologies and trying to be environmentally aware, doesn't really throw anything away. So when a sim like upgrades their kitchen, instead of selling the counters back, I'm gonna have them put it in their inventory, come here and drop them off. Which means I'm gonna have to have like someone own this and do it that way, but we'll see. I need someone to become the like recycle center. There we go. You're just lagging it up, aren't you, game? I swear it's camera shy. And then over here is the water plant. Ledesia provides fresh water for not only itself, but also the surrounding subhoods, like Oak Grove, which we'll see in just a second. And to do that, the water plant is really cool. They actually gather all the water and then send it through a treatment system that actually has a secret additive no one knows about except the head honchos in town. So shh, but yeah, there's a secret additive in there. I guess it's not so secret now, but you can't tell the Sims, okay? And then it goes through and the water is treated by plants, which actually is a tactic that's increasingly used by several water treatment facilities in the area. How do I know this? I am a bit of a science nerd, which is why I'm building a scientific community. But Sims can also come here just to tour the facilities. I wouldn't actually recommend touring a water treatment facility in real life. Trust me, they don't smell that good. But they can also buy some of the abundant pond plants that grow here to treat the water. And then over here, this is where Ledesia generates the energy for its town and the surrounding subhoods. As the towns get bigger, the energy needs will probably grow, and they'll have to get more of these little awesome windmills. Windmills? They're windmills, right? Yes. I guess the windmill is a classic. It just is all iron and generates electricity now. This is the monorail, very fast, which is connected to some of the subhoods. And just, you know, there are other junctions in the area. This is the jump station, which I have to build, but I put it close so that I can try to build it so it looks like the Sims can just climb into the train when they get there. But yeah, and then there's, you know, lots of rocks in the ocean, and those two fishing boats always hanging out. I guess the captains just are always talking to each other. There we go. Now you're happy again, game, honestly. And a third little fishing boat just hanging out over here. Oh, I spoke too soon. But yeah, this is Ledesia, kind of the basics. Like I said, robot competition, scientists getting up to really crazy things. Haha! Did you know that the Stonehenges can do that? I didn't know that. It just, oh, look at that. Already, you were proving yourself awesome to science, Ledesia. Yes, there will be aliens in my game, but I don't plan on adding them in for just a little while, so it's going to be pretty fun when they finally come in. More birdies! I love the birdies! Alright, and now let's take a quick jump, and we're going to go over to Oak Grove. Onward, Oak Grove. Now, Oak Grove isn't nearly as decorated as Ledesia is. Oak Grove is basically my dumping ground for Sims who can't live in Ledesia. Ledesia is an exclusive community because you don't want just anyone running around with very dangerous scientific tools that could blow up the whole town. I'm sure that the geniuses tend to blow up the whole town on a regular basis, but they probably are able to make some masterpieces to cope, like, for their mistakes. Your average Joe, probably not. So Oak Grove is kind of the area where they, you know, everyone who wouldn't find Ledesia the most awesome place to live can go. Now, as you can tell, Oak Grove hasn't been very well established. I actually had quite a bit more of it built before the neighborhoods got borked, but I decided why not start fresh. So the story is that there was a huge flood that came through and actually dug out these two rivers because they weren't here before, and wiped away everything. And the town has just started to rebuild. They haven't really known who their mysterious benefactor is, but rumor has it that it's connected to Erica Eureka. She was a freaking rich legacy sim back in her old neighborhood. So that's where all the money came from. This is the train, and it was just recently refinished. This is Platform B, one of the train platforms, the only one I've built so far. I really love it. But yeah, this is basically just, you know, we're going to have a whole bunch of the lower income areas. Ignore this person. That's actually just to make sure that new townies can get into the neighborhood and things like that. And then this is the construction yard, Crustacea Construction Corp, which is actually one of the children companies of Eureka Corporation International, but not many people know that connection. But yeah, they're the ones who are building everything new over here. And these are the cranes I'm going to have over in this area. with time, I'm going to build like some little warehouses. So it's like this is the loading and unloading dock for commercial things. Good grief, game, stop lagging. You run beautifully. You're just pouting because I have you on video, aren't you? Don't be so naughty. Also, I'm playing with this idea. I might keep it, I might not. With the ocean surf. Showing like how fast and rapid the currents are. You don't want to mess with these currents. I mean, they just blew away the whole town not that long ago. A few buildings did survive in town. This is the Yosemite Vintage Theater. It may have a name change soon. Look at the little music notes. I love them. But yeah, this is the theater. I imagine Oak Grove is going to grow into kind of this liberal arts, small business hub with a few large offices for like big corporations, but it's not going to be like super duper city. It's just not big enough for that. This is the library, which has recently been built by the Eureka Corporation as a donation to the town to help them get back on their feet after the flood. Biblioteca Central is actually a lot that I downloaded from this amazing maker. I can't remember right now. I had to remake it though because it just didn't quite suit my gameplay. I kept the shell though. Come on, little game. Come on. No need to lag. There we go. Blue Dog Bar, which I'm still working on trying to make look semi-decent. It's a long, skinny bar that will probably have a dog park put in next to it pretty soon. Blue Dog Bar survived because it was a lot that I custom built. So I exported it and brought it with me. Come on, baby. There we go. And then over here, we have Tinder Creek. Tinder Creek survived. It's a really beautiful creek, great for fishing. And Tinder Creek Trail, which is a bunch of little stores, it survived, and it's gonna have, as time goes on, a lot of expansion, so little shops can grow along that area. Sioux Park survived. Again, these are all lots that I built, so I just exported them and kicked them over here. Housing is starting to come back up with some of the new characters that I intend to add. And over here, I know it's kind of weird, like this fenced community survived, but actually it didn't. The Altair's house and a couple others survived. The Altair's are my National Legacy Writing Month family, and they have been doing quite well. They're actually going to lead some of the storyline that's going to go on in Old Oak Grove. The Altair's eldest son and the heir, Generation 2 heir, Harvey, is in the construction company, the Ledesia Construction Corp, as just kind of a draftsman right now. So he just kind of helps to put the blueprints into actual housing. But he's the one who helped pull out the blueprints and put together the housing for all these houses, these little townhouses that got built around his house, and fixed it so that it's an actual little gated community now. Yeah, and these are two parks that I'm probably going to play with a little bit more. But they're just little willow parks, because this is Salis Drive, or Salis Trellis. And the Salis is chopped up from part of the Latin words for, the Latin names for willow tree. So there's Willow Park as a result. This is Oak Grove Soccer Field, which actually is going to be donated to the community by Seri. She was inspired by her son's work rebuilding the town. And so she built a little soccer field near their house because she is a big sports enthusiast. And I also have a private school for boys that's going to come in here that Harvey attended, Ruderum Academy, Acer Ruderum Academy. And finally, to the northwest in my game world, which would be really fun to make a map out of sometime soon, is Glacial Lake. And Glacial Lake is actually a custom vacation neighborhood in my view, but I didn't put it under the vacation subhood area because I want Sims to be able to move there and live there if they so choose. And so instead I made it a shopping district, and I just pretend it's where Sims can go on vacations. And with a little bit more tweaking, I will be able to fulfill several of the vacation monikers, you know, like meeting Bigfoot and learning how to slap dance and eating flapjacks. I'm gonna try to get those fulfilled. And then over here, as you can tell, Glacial Lake spends the year either in winter or fall. Currently it's winter. And there's lots of natural wonders in Glacial Lake. Over here we have the rock bridge, very pretty rock bridge. And we've also got the hidden hot springs and frozen falls. You can kind of see the little icicles on the falls there. It's a place you can go ice skating at. Theoretically, I'm still tweaking that. They complained about things being in their like in front of them last time. And then over here is the tree farm, where you can come and get a Christmas tree. But yeah, oh, and you can also throw axes and eat some of those flapjacks, like I said. Look at him. He's holding the flapjacks, and he's all covered in snow. You can see him as you drive in. But yeah, this is a fun little area where you can come get your Christmas tree. Then there are several cabins that you can rent or buy. Right now it's mostly buy. The August Owl Cabin. August Owl Cabin is the one that is owned by Seri and the Altair family. Seri specifically bought it a little while ago because her favorite season in the world is winter. It has the little business sign rotating over it because to have Sims purchase this as a second home, I just had them buy it as a business lot and don't let Sims like visit it. I turn off customers when they go there, and it works out. And then, oh yes, over here we have Polar Plunge. This is where Sims can come when it is not freezing over to jump into the cold water and do their little log rolling thing. Over here is the postal post office, Glacial Lake Post Office. Over here is Shep's General Store, kind of where you can go to get your camping supplies, your warm jackets, and things like that. Over here is Sioux Lake, named after a famous sled dog in the area, kind of like a little story off of Balto. See, you can see Zeus, the famous sled dog, there in the middle of the lake on his little island on his pedestal. And finally over here is Nan's Breakfast Nook. So Glacial Lake, like I said, was mostly designed to be a vacation hut, but Sims who really love nature and want to spend all their time in winter and fall regions can move here. And that's what I really wanted, was to be able to have Sims come and move here. Also, I'm really thinking that as things go on, I'm going to have a werewolf colony out here. And it's probably going to have like its own little dramas. But like I said, I don't plan out a lot of stories. I really like just kind of going by the seat of my pants. But yep, those are the 3 subhoods, or the 3 neighborhoods that I've got going right now. The main star of the show is of course Ledesia, and Oak Grove, because that'll be where, you know, your non-geniuses who prefer not to have their walls talking back to them, or something like that, you know what I mean? We'll go to live. And this has been a tour of Ledesia, and so in the next video I'm going to start playing some of the neighborhood characters, getting their houses built, just throwing parties, you know, doing things to just get everybody warmed up. Thank you very much for listening. Like I said, my name's Seri. I hope you've enjoyed the introduction to this little world that I hope to share with everybody. I hope it entertains you as much as it entertains me. I have a great time doing this. And, oh, let's see. This is something I've wanted to do as my little signature. So let me think of a random fact I know about animals. And that way you can say that by watching this you learned something. It was educational. So, let me think. Did you know that the possum is the only marsupial in North America? No? Yes? Nope. Only see them as roadkill? Yeah, they do that too. But the only one in North America. Australia really has us beat with tons of other things. Anyway, it's been great, guys. I hope you come back for the next episode when we really start getting the ball rolling and stories developing. And I will see